There we are.
It's so funny when we wait. Okay, is it coming? Is it happening? Are we going live? We're live. So every time we do this, it's never the same amount of time before it goes live, which just
Yeah.
cracks me up.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, it's just, I don't know. It's just the way technology is.
Yeah. It might have something to do with the feet of snow that we're buried under right now.
Yeah. And then you get freezing rain. Oh my gosh, like what in the world is with your weather this year in Minnesota? Well, I'm in sunny Lake Havasu, Arizona. Love it.
Yeah,
Beautiful.
I envy you right now. It is cold.
I got a pedicure and got to wear sandals yesterday. It was amazing. I know. I hadn't seen my toes for a long time. So,
all right.
Yeah,
Well,
awesome.
I will be there shortly. So I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah, that'll be awesome.
Okay, so tell everybody what our students learned today.
Oh, it was a fun morning. So, we just kicked off our student teacher program last week. And so they've had 2 calls with you, and they are becoming masters of the self-operating system, self-control operating system that we are doing. And so today, one of the student teachers actually led the lesson, and she did amazing. Lisa did such a great job, and you can just tell she's all in. She's learned so much. She can't wait to soak up the rest of the things that she's learned. And she talked about the ability to shift between the prodigy and the primitive brain. So our initial thought with anything that happens, our primitive brain kicks in and kind of judges us on what we're thinking, and then we kind of freak out and react in it's a negative way. And how we can switch from that primitive brain into the prodigy brain thoughts. It was good.
Yeah. It is a function of our brain. Our brain has 2 components. The one is the primitive, and that's what we operate from by default. And that is a source of our negative feelings. And so separating yourself from your primitive brain and how it thinks because of neural pathways is a very valuable tool. Because if you don't do that, you make any of those negative feelings that you're experiencing mean that you're broken, or that you're worthless, or that you're doomed to always feel this way. And that's just not true. And so what we want to teach first and foremost is just that neuroscience, the 2 parts of your brain. And then once you understand that, then the most obvious question is, okay, so how do you shift from one to the other? And so that's what we talked a lot about today, is like that awareness of there's an unwanted or a negative feeling actually happening, and that self-command kind of muscle or strength to be able to shift into the prodigy brain. And that's the place where we all want to be operating from. I like to think of it as kind of your self-made mind, where you're allowing your primitive brain to be there and to function as it's supposed to. It's supposed to keep you safe, so it has a purpose, but also to be able to tap into that prodigy side. So it's really kind of this well orchestrated use or way of operating. And so I like to just kind of umbrella that by saying that's what it looks like to use your self-made mind to be able to allow the primitive to be there, but really be able to tap into the prodigy. And so it all starts with awareness. And then from there, then we start to like tap into the shifting from one to the other. And there's some really cool techniques. And I think probably, the one that most people are familiar with is meditation, but that's not always so easy to do if you're maybe in a crowd of people and maybe you're getting ready to be on stage and you have an immense amount of stage fright. And you're like, oh my gosh, you're judging the heck out of the circumstance. You're judging yourself because you're nervous. You're judging all of the people who are watching you. And you're just really swimming in this feeling of, like judgment, right? How do you shift out of that in that moment? You can't really say, time out, I want to go meditate. So we are working on techniques that you can do in the moment in crowds of people if necessary. So, I love what we're teaching right now.
And I love that, like you talk about in the moment, because how many, we talk about the circumstance, right? How many of the circumstances that occur are in the moment?
Yeah.
In any situation, you're at a shopping center and you have an interaction with somebody that's supposed to be checking you out, or you're waiting in line. There's just in the moment it happens, and in the moment you can squelch that judge. And I just love the techniques that we're going to be able to do that. It's awesome.
Yeah. Well, thank you for being here. Thank you for carving out some time during your Arizona stay, especially when you're with your mom and Steve. I think that's so nice of you to give us some time. So
yeah, we're having a lot of fun, like too much fun already. Oh boy, it was a late night last night, but I got it and I made it. I even had my hair done, so we're good to go. Oh, not to mention, it's mountain time, so now it's only an hour earlier. So got out of that Pacific time zone. Whew.
yes. And all the flooding that's happening.
Oh, I know. I'm glad I'm out of California now.
Yeah. All right, guys. So we will see you next week.